What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NH Experience. And my special guest today, she is a singer, she's an actress, songwriter. She's also definitely having ties to great people in the community. Definitely is an entrepreneur. She's connected to some clothing brands we'll get into later on with her own sense of style and creativity. We're also going to talk a little bit about her career and her journey and how she got to the point where she is today. None other than Hana Giraldo. What's going on, Hana? How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, living and breathing. What can I say? Thank you for coming
Yeah,
on.
yeah, of course, anytime.
So let's talk a little bit about your journey. At what point in your life did you realize this is a path that you want to take seriously, that you really want to pursue as far as being a songwriter, a singer, and an actress? Because that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. Um, I think I first discovered I wanted to do it when I was a kid, but I didn't know that fully that's what I wanted to do until I was about let's say I learned kind of later, about like 20 years old.
Okay.
When I was 20 years old, I really kind of like dove into it head first and started with fashion. Eventually got into the doors with some people, you know what I mean? And I've always done comedy and stuff like that, and making videos, like even as a kid on tour when I was bored because I had nothing to do. So I guess I started pursuing it a little bit later, but I've always been doing it like genetically, I think.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've always said if you could turn something you love to do into something monetary and still make it a business, that is a skill all its own.
Amen.
So what is it about that you like about being a singer and an actress? Because they're two different fields, obviously, even though they're in the same entertainment genre, but they're two different fields. They require two different sets of preparation. How are you able to balance doing both?
You know what? It's because I am more comfortable actually being a character. Okay. So when I think of myself, I think of like a character. Okay. So whenever I'm on stage, I'm a character. Whenever I'm playing a character, I'm a character. And it's not like I'm like insecure with myself, but like being out there and being put into the public eye, it's just easier if you're a character. You know what I mean? Because it's more of like a costume. Does that make sense? Like a Halloween
Right.
costume. So I would say that like I, I, I've always loved doing what I'm doing, and I could balance it out because first of all, music just comes naturally to me. So naturally, I can kind of come up with melodies. I make a schedule. I'm so ADHD, it's like ridiculous. So I have to like have somebody keep me in check for sure. But it's just something that comes easily to me, and I like it. So it's like it's easy. It's not like I'm forcing myself to do it. So I think that's like a lot of the easiness that comes out of it.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about being a character, like obviously different roles require different characters. How long do you stay in that character before you're able to kind of come out of it, decompress and then move on to the next feature?
I'm actually pretty good at switching in and out, but
Okay.
it depends on how deep I'm going. Like if I'm doing a scene where like I have to like cry or like I have to like really go there, it's gonna take me like a good 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get out of it really.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that with acting, it's actors are so good at acting because they've just been through shit, I'm sorry if I
Mhm.
can I swear?
No, you good. You good.
And yeah, so growing up like with famous parents, I've seen it. I mean, I've gone through all those things that those kids been through, you know what I mean, the using and all that shit. So I know what it feels like. And so I feel like that kind of makes me a little bit more authentic when it comes to acting and music. I love music. Who doesn't love music? So it's honestly like the best high you could ever get. I think making a hit song, like when you come out of the studio and you're like, that's a hit. Like I wrote my parents' last 3 songs, and like the feeling of walking out there and being like, that's a hit is like no other feeling. It's like adrenaline. It's fun.
Oh, I bet. So when you say you write for obviously your parents and maybe somebody else, how different is it for you to be with that pen versus you being in the studio and penning something for yourself? Like how different do you have to be in a mindset?
Um, I definitely like want to know what the person wants to do. Like I definitely need to know a little bit about the person for sure. Like I'll ask you like what kind of record are you wanting? What kind of vibe? Like send me 4 of your favorite songs or like 4 of the songs you wish you were like had and let me hear you sing them let me help you kind of develop into like the sound that you're trying to do. I feel like that's kind of like what I'm really good at, is like driving people in the right direction. So I enjoy writing songs for other people. I think it's a good mechanism to like use to get good at writing music, so that when I do write that hit song, it'll be mine. You know what I mean? And so it's just
It's over here. This is all mine.
yeah. So it you know what I mean? If I'm writing a song for another person, it's almost more comforting. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody will agree with me. It's kind of comforting because I'm like, can step out of myself for a second, especially with what's going on right now. You know, step out of myself for a second and become something else, and try and like use that as a way to like say it. And so it's just fun. It's humbling that people even like it.
No, that's awesome. I mean, the fact that you're able to be so gifted in different areas of you know, music and film and things like that. Who were some of your influences growing up musically that you looked up to?
My parents, for sure.
Okay.
Like, I literally my parents didn't really play music too often. They played a lot of like Sinatra or like, you know, like classics, but they weren't really listening to music. I'll give some examples like Rihanna, Beyonce, like those people like, oh, God, you know what I mean? Like I wish, Lady Gaga. But like my mother and father, like I was in the studio with them every day. I really saw how long it took. I was really in it. I was really there. There's actually like a song where you can hear my laughing in the background, like as a little kid. As a little kid, I would always run on the stage trying to grab the bubble gum. I would ask to watch the audience. Like, you know what I mean? Like I always wanted to be there. So the influence of the music was always from my dad mostly, because my dad is kind of like the brains behind everything. He's done the music. He is the guitar player. He does like all the songwriting. He did the guitar in Jesse's Girl. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so he's been a huge influence on me. And then just, you know, watching Lady Gaga, I really love music videos. Like that's my shit. Like I love it. Like that's how I think of songs sometimes. I'll think of it like, what do I want to dance like or look like, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the influence that I have.
No, that's amazing that you say that, because the fact that level of creativity where you can write a song and then see the vision of that song being on display via television or, you know, digital television, whatever. Do you see yourself directing at some point, like music videos?
Yeah, I really do. I see myself directing music videos because I guess this is like how I learn, you know what I mean? I just learn visually. So like I said, I do videos. So I guess that's what I'm really strong at. So when I think of like a song, like I'll always listen to it and I'll be like, that would be cool if like, you know, my brain starts to go on like it's really like Pisces, like whole like, you know what I mean? But I think I'd be a really good creative director, to be honest. Yeah, I think I would be good at directing, not picking the shots necessarily, like standing behind the camera, but being the director would be probably perfect for me. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Fun, yeah.
So on the film side, obviously the acting side, who did you grow up watching and saying, okay, I want to do films like this, or I want to do television like this?
So as a kid, I kind of grew up like watching. Okay, so I just read a journal of mine that I found. Actually, my mom found it when I was 10 years old. And my favorite movies were Night at the Roxbury and The Hot Chick. I don't know if like I was supposed to be watching those movies, but like I've always kind of like adopted a comedy aspect. So I always kind of like Will Ferrell like killed me as a kid. I mean, anything by Quentin Tarantino is amazing. There's just so many films. The Black Swan like changed my life. I thought that was like amazing. She killed that role. There's so many. I don't even know where to begin. There's so many people who influenced me. Christian Bale, Robert De Niro. I mean, list goes on.
Those are heavyweights. Yeah.
They're like the goats, you know?
The one thing I noticed when you mentioned Christian Bale, I mean, obviously you know him from Batman, from the Batman series, but to me, it really made me respect him as an actor when I saw him in American Psycho. When I saw him play that, I was like, okay, this guy is serious.
Did you see when he lost all that weight for that one movie?
That was crazy.
Crazy. Like even Matthew McConaughey is kind of like really good. Like I was like, where'd you come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like 50, How to Lose a Guy or whatever. I don't know if he's in that, but he's in something like that.
How to Lose a Guy in 10. I think it was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or something like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you never thought of him like, oh my God, he's a great actor. But all of a sudden he came out of nowhere. You're like, okay.
I mean, that was how I was with Ashton Kutcher. Like people thought from the 70s show, but then when I saw him in The Butterfly Effect, I was like, okay, I have a newfound respect for you.
That movie, I remember watching it as a kid. I was like, whoa, this movie's crazy. Like,
what movie would you want to remake? If you had the opportunity to remake a movie, any movie that you've ever seen, maybe one of your favorites? If you had an opportunity to remake it, what would it be and why?
Kill Bill.
Ooh, okay.
I'd want to be the actor. I want to be the act. I want to be the main actress. Like I would fucking kill that role. Or like Pulp Fiction. Like I love anything like that. The reason why I'd want to be like even the Black Swan is because the amount of acting she went through and the amount of like different characters she portrayed was so interesting. And I love the director. He directed like a bunch of things like that I like. Like I love who else do I really like? The guy who did The Dark Knight.
See, I'm going to remember it as soon as we get off this.
That was a great movie, The Dark Knight. Whoa, like that was seriously the best Batman ever. Right. But there's so many influential people in my life. I just love learning, so I'm just always like watching stuff.
No, that's fantastic. Now I want to also talk about some work that you did off screen and off the camera with the Know Your Rights campaign, which is Colin Kaepernick's campaign. What drew you into that campaign, and why volunteer your time towards that organization?
I mean, I just think it's appropriate. It's what's going on right now. It's something that needs to be done. I'm 100% the kind of person that's going to stand for what's right, whether you like me or not. I'm going to be the person that's just like I went protesting. You know what I mean? Like I think it's time for everybody to use their platform. If you have any sort of following or you influence anybody, to be able to use it in a good way. And if you don't like me, then I don't really care. Like, why would I want you around me if you don't like me because I choose a certain thing? Do you know what I mean? I just chose to do it because I'm always the person that's wanting to help. That's why I made masks. I made masks to help people, for one. Two, I'm donated Color of Change. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, at least I'm like helping a person. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be a billionaire off these masks. I'm just trying to like, you know what I mean? Come on. But like, I'm just trying to do something with my thing, like King Batch, or these people, like, I really appreciate them. And I'm like, wow, this is dope. People who don't do it, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you really just going to sit there and TikTok right now? Like, that's all, like nothing, like nothing, like as if nothing's going on. So I just think that this year is actually really powerful though. I think that what's going on right now is very, it's very powerful that everybody's uniting in such a peaceful way and being able to stand up to like the man, you know what I mean? Because like it's been something that's swept under the rug for so fucking long and needs to be like, you know, it needs to be like, hello, like what are you doing? Like, you know, so I think it's a great cause. I want to be behind it because I fully support it, and I'm just all about helping people.
What is it about Colin Kaepernick that you admire the most about?
His drive, his humility, his ability to see things and get it done. I've just always been a huge, God, I forgot the word, of course. Just like a huge, I wouldn't say fan because I'm not a fan, but like
supporter.
Supporter. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm just supportive. Yeah.
No, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the stand that he took. I don't think a lot of athletes in general, not just football players, but a lot of athletes.
I mean, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, when I see Colin Kaepernick, but I noticed there are other people that are athletes that have taken huge stands. I mean, you look at Maya Moore from the WNBA, who actually stopped in the prime of her career to fight, you know, criminal justice reform and make sure that a man that she believed that was innocent, that the evidence would show that he was innocent. She made sure she campaigned and you know, persevered through to make sure that he got his fair day in court.
Amen.
And so when you see athletes like that, when you see athletes taking stands, there's several other WNBA athletes that decided, you know, I'm not going to play this year if they start the season.
I love it. I love it.
So what is that like to have your dad? And I heard it's top-notch bourbon. Like it's been rated top-notch.
94, got 94 on a whiskey. Oh gosh.
Listen.
Un momento, por favor.
When I heard that your dad and your family created that whiskey, I was all in. I was like, okay, I didn't care what it was rated. I just wanted to taste it.
I gotta send you some. Yeah, it got a 94. Like I heard that like some of the bigger vodkas only got like 80% or 80, not 80%. My dad said, don't say 80%.
Yeah, no, that is fantastic. Congrats to him and congrats to you all as well. I mean, that's huge just for your family to have that type of brand and then be able to have that instilled as far as the business aspect of it, because that's major.
Yeah, and I'm gonna and I'm helping him on like the marketing side of it.
Really?
So yeah, so I'm like trying to because I'm like I know how to do this stuff. Oh, my earring fell off. That's hilarious. That has to be on the red carpet, okay?
There you go.
Okay. Like, new thing that's gonna happen to me like all the time.
Right. It happens. But see, that's the beauty. That is the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. You still continue to flow on like nothing happened. That's the professional that you are.
Exactly.
Last thing, if you were stuck on a deserted island, you can only bring 3 albums to listen to. What would they be?
Oh gosh, 3 albums. Okay. God, that's okay. Wait. I don't know then. Okay, I'm so bad with names of albums.
You get the artist. You get the artist.
Drake.
Okay, Drake.
I really like the Changes album by Justin Bieber. Kyle's also really good friends with Justin, and we know them well, and the Audibles. So I listen to it a lot, and I feel like when you listen to songs, I love every song. I could listen to it. It's so calm. So that would be my calm moment. And then what's another good album? Oh my gosh, Jay-Z. Oh, what's a king to a god? What's a god to a king? What's that song?
Was it? It's Kanye. I think it's Kanye, and I think it's Watch the Throne.
That whole album was so.
Yeah, that album was fire. That was probably Kanye's last.
I'm not even gonna go to the oldies because there's just too many. So I'm just gonna stick to this era, because if I were to try, I've been, you name it, so those. I love rap though. Rap's kind of my shit.
Oh, hip hop has influenced so much. It's inspired and influenced so many people.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you've been ripping and running, and I thank you. I'm looking forward to chasing that brand new liquor that you.
Yes, I'll send you some of my masks too as well.
And the mask. Come on now. That's off. We got to have the mask now. We got to make it into.
The company I'm working with is all surrounded by mental health, so it's also
really?
So yeah, it's totally we're totally just doing it to help, which is nice, you know what I mean, rather than selling something here's this because I want mine, you know what I mean, we're really trying to make a difference because these kids need help.
I applaud you for making a difference, because I think mental health is still underrated and still not respected the way it needs to be and handled in the care that it needs to be handled in. So thank you for being a part of that movement, because that is absolutely needed.
Of course. Let
everybody know where they can continue to keep up with you and all your endeavors and follow you on social media.
You guys can follow me on all platforms. Hana Giraldo. I'll spell it HanaGiraldo.
Ooh, I like the way that spells. Thank you so much for coming on board. I really appreciate it. The one and only Hana Giraldo. And make sure you guys keep up with her, because I know she has some bigger and even better ventures coming up for not only 2020, but 2021. And make sure you guys go support her with those masks. Let's all stay safe out there, please, so we can get through this pandemic.
Please stay safe.
Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.